Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is our live stream, our second live stream.
We'll be live streaming all of the She-Hulk series.
Okay, we're going to take it one live stream at a time. But yeah, here we are here for episode 2 review of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. We just want to remind you that if you have any questions or comments for us, if it's a question, you want to type in the letter Q.
Yeah, you have to type Q plus in the comments so that we'll know it's a question. It goes into our question feed and stuff.
Right, exactly. And if you just have a comment, just go ahead and comment, and we will
specifically Q plus.
Right, and we will read all the comments as much as we can. Before we get started on She-Hulk, just remember that this will be a spoiler review. So just make sure, please, if you have not seen it and you prefer not to know about what happens before you see it, go ahead and watch it, and you can always come back and look at our recording, and then if you have any questions or comments afterwards, please feel free to reach out to us. So again, if you're joining us for the very first time and you don't know who we are, I'm Kerwin. This is my son Keith.
Hello.
Right, and we are Father Son Galaxy. We've had a podcast since March of 2021. We were Father and Son, a Star Wars podcast. We recently changed our name, to just keep the flow, Father Son Galaxy. So we are big Star Wars fans, right? I grew up watching Star Wars since I was 12 years old. I introduced Keith to Star Wars when he was 4, right around the time The Force Awakens came out. Yeah, and during the pandemic, we were trying to find ways to keep us motivated. We were homeschooling, here at home, and I was working from home. There wasn't much places we can go to, just to go out and, get away from the realities of the world. So we decided, we were thinking about what we'd like to do. And at that time, The Mandalorian, the first season of Mandalorian premiered. There you go, right. The Mandalorian premiered on Disney Plus, and we couldn't wait to watch it, and then the next day discuss it at the dinner table. And
it's kind of our system, yeah.
Yeah, my wife Tanya, who's the producer of this podcast, had the bright idea to actually record us while we were, talking about The Mandalorian. And then, she said, this is pretty good. I think people will be interested in hearing what you both have to say. So you should start a podcast. And then here we are, 18 months later doing a podcast. So this is pretty cool. And like I said, we've been doing episodes. We have about over 100 episodes on our YouTube channel. So please, if you have not heard of us or not seen any of our material, feel free to go to our YouTube channel and take a look. We're also on the audio platforms.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Yep. Yeah. We also have a website. So you can find us. We're also on the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Father Son Galaxy. All right. So, like I said, this is our second live stream, and we just thank everyone for joining us. One of the things that we wanted to talk about that we're fortunate enough to participate in this year is Podathon 2022. So I wanted to just let you know about Podathon 2022. It's a telethon, like a telethon for podcasters. This has been going on for 3 years, and what we are doing, podcasters who are involved in the Podathon are raising money to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And if you've not heard of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, they grant wishes to children who are ill, usually cancer-stricken, providing them with wishes, just to keep their morale up. So Make-A-Wish has been around for a very long time. We've had friends who have been impacted with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we were excited to know that we were invited to be one of the podcasters. So it's going to be on Saturday, September 17th.
The whole thing.
Right. It starts at 9 a.m. It goes until 12 hours, maybe 9 p.m. Saturday night. And you can go to thepodathon.com for more information if you wanted to get some more information about the Podathon. But I just want to read off some of the names, the guests that you will be seeing at the Podathon. So we have Ryan Johnson, director of The Last Jedi.
Seth Green, Family Guy.
Seth Green. We have Shelby Young, Christopher Sean, who is an actor for Star Wars Resistance.
Kristen Baver.
Phil Zolak. We have Kelly Knox, Charles
Soule.
Soule, author Charles Soule. We have Mike Chen, another author. Zoraida Cordova will be there. Matt Martin, Gary Whitta. So those are the names so far. So we're we're really looking forward to it. We can't wait to be a part of it and to raise funds. We're trying to reach a goal of $10,000 this year, this September. So hopefully we can get to that goal and
it goes straight to Make-A-Wish. There's no third party.
Absolutely, and every penny goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we hope you will support us in that way. Once again, if you go to thepodathon.com, you can donate there on their website. And just tune in on September 17th. All right, it's going to be great, and it's going to be for a good cause. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing us to share that. All right, so let's go ahead.
Our review.
All right, so once again, we're doing She-Hulk spoiler review. So if you have not seen it, we apologize. If you want to hang around, if you don't mind having it being spoiled, that's okay. But once again, if you don't want any spoilers, you can feel free to go ahead and watch the episode, then come back and watch us, and we'll be available here on YouTube and on the audio platforms. All right. So this is episode 2 of She-Hulk, right? And the episode is called Superhuman Law.
Yeah. So for some reason, they fired Jennifer for what happened in court in the last episode, where she stopped Titania from throwing that desk at the jury, and she called him and knocked Titania out.
Right.
So she got fired for that because GLK&H called it a mistrial because, the jury would be more inclined to rule in her favor to save them from a flying desk.
That's a good point, yeah.
It doesn't really make that much sense to me. And then there was just this whole montage of her getting denied job offers for the same reason. And then GLK&H turns around and then hires her for their superhuman law division. But with the twist, she has to say She-Hulk every day, all the time.
Right, exactly. Let me just stop you there for a minute. So her previous boss, she was in a bar and, she was having a few drinks as She-Hulk. And we know that She-Hulk has this tolerance for drinking. And when her boss came in to the bar, right, he wanted to talk to her and it was very serious. And he had something that very important he wanted to say to her. And he says, well, I want to talk to Jennifer. He meant Jennifer. So she changes back into Jennifer, but Jennifer doesn't have a tolerance like Jennifer She-Hulk.
And she's just kind of like really sleepy right now. About to hit the pillow. And
if you were watching TV in the 90s and you heard of this show called Ally McBeal, to me it just had that Ally McBeal vibe, in my opinion. So I thought it was pretty funny. So her boss fires her because they consider her a liability. And she gets picked up by a new law firm who is representing superhumans.
Mm-hmm. And the same law firm that ordered the mistrial, So, her first client is actually Emil Blonsky, who you might know is Abomination.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's actually from the Incredible Hulk movie, which leads to a very funny joke on Hulk's part. So, Abomination was played by Tim Roth in both the original movie and the She-Hulk series. And also, we got an Easter egg at the ending, which I will discuss. So, She-Hulk is actually before Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings comes out, which will make more sense to you at the end.
Okay, yeah. Can't wait to hear about this part.
So, his backstory in the movie is that he was a former British Special Ops commander and got recruited by Thaddeus Ross to hunt down Hulk. And then he took the super soldier serum, which made him actually stronger than Captain America. See, when Cap would take a week to heal from worse injuries, and Blonsky had his whole frame shattered, and he healed in a day. And then after that, he wanted to become stronger to hunt down Hulk, so he had a transfusion of Bruce Banner's blood, which turned him into the Abomination.
Gotcha.
The comics is a lot more convoluted and dark, but Gotcha.
All right. Can we acknowledge? Okay. All right, Alex, thanks you for joining us. Thank you, Alex. So you watched it. Okay. It was funny when she had the chance to change back to Jen and fell. Yeah, I agree. That was a funny moment. Yeah.
Yeah, we woke up like 6 o'clock. It was like, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
watch this episode. Let's do it now.
Yes. Yeah. We got up and watched the episode. Not too early, you know. What was it? 6:30 in the morning, our time here. So yeah, that was good. Yeah. So getting back to the Abomination, right? So he first appeared in the Marvel movies in the Incredible Hulk, right? I don't remember the year it came out, but
2008.
Right, 2008. Okay. At the time, it was played by another actor named Ed Norton.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So
And then Mark Ruffalo makes a joke about that because he says, "Oh, that was years ago. I'm a completely different person now." And the joke is because Ed Norton played it back in 2008, and then they switched to Mark Ruffalo, so he actually is a completely different person.
yes, exactly. Yeah,
That's why it's funny.
that was pretty funny. I really enjoyed. You know, we'll talk more about the rest of the episode, but I'm enjoying the writing. I think it's very sharp writing, very good satire, well written, and of course the performances by Tatiana Maslany and Mark Ruffalo.
This episode was actually rated TV PG.
Okay, yeah, this was to me. I think you know, anyone your age or a little bit younger can watch this episode. That's not a problem. Yeah. All right, so let's pick it up where Jennifer goes to visit.
Yes, he goes to visit Emil in the Department of Damage Control. Remember them?
Yeah.
They just, like, their pastime is hunting down young superheroes and questioning them. Because, like, that's just, they're evil.
Yeah, and they appeared in Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they seem to be everywhere. Okay.
And, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what happened in this episode was she goes to visit Emil, and for some reason she makes a sort of a joke about Silence of the Lambs and fava beans and stuff. I haven't seen the movie, but it's something about fava beans and Chianti.
I had to explain it to you. So what it is funny, once again, what's very smart, what Marvel does is they like to give references to previous movies or prior movies and see if anyone gets the joke. So if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, you would get it. You know, and she's going into this prison cell and she's being walked down this corridor and she has this warden who's telling her, okay, this is what you're not supposed to do. You do this, keep your hands to yourself, step back, don't touch your clothes, you know, don't touch it. Right. And, you know, of course, you know, Jennifer's thinking in her mind, okay, well, you know, should I ask him for some fava beans and a nice Chianti? And, you know, so if you've seen the movie, you get the joke. It was pretty cool. Mark Daniel, how about that?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark. Okay, yeah. I hope we didn't spoil it for you. I recommend you still see it, you know, even though you have not seen it yet. But yeah, it was a pretty good episode, pretty funny episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs yet, though.
Yeah, no, Silence of the Lambs.
I mean, I kind of figured out it was a Silence of the Lambs reference because my dad explained it to me.
Yes. It's.
Oh, Alex agrees.
Yes.
Well, I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs either, but heard it was Silence of the Lambs reference.
I highly recommend it. Of course, it's an R-rated movie, you know, for adults only.
Yep, it was. Of course, it was my mom.
My wife, it's one of her favorite films. All right, I don't know if that says anything about Tanya, but you know, like Silence of the Lambs is one of our top films here. So yeah, yes. It's pretty cool. All right, and she goes to visit Blonsky. Yeah,
and he's chill. He's very meditative. He writes haikus for some reason. So, you know, she's still kind of worried about taking the job because of the conflicts of interest. Because, you know, in that movie, Abomination was just attacking Bruce. And she's like, you attacked my cousin Bruce. And then she gets told by her boss, if you don't take this job, then you are fired.
Yeah.
So she kind of has to take the job.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Emil's trying to win her over with that Hannibal Lecter style charm. Yeah, I Googled that one.
Yeah, right. By, you know, trying to, you know, give the impression that he can control his anger. He doesn't have to change into the Abomination.
Even though we see him do so in the trailer.
Right, yeah.
And he does it later in the episode.
Right, yeah.
So now we're at the ending scene.
Yeah. Well, let me stop you there for a minute, though. But I think, do you think she believes him? Because, you know.
I think she does, because otherwise she wouldn't have taken the case.
Yeah. You want me to grab this? Yeah, because she, you know, has these superpowers and she feels that she's in control of being
Her
a She-Hulk,
powers,
right?
yeah.
Or her powers, that she can turn into the She-Hulk when she wants to, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, she's probably thinking, okay, this Emil, is probably feeling the same way, that he has his powers under control. So she kind of has a soft spot for him. And not only does she have to represent him because her boss tells her to, or else she lose her job, but it really seems like she believes him. And what she does is, she, like you mentioned the story about how in the Incredible Hulk film, that he did try to attack her cousin Bruce Banner. And so what she wanted to do was to make a phone call to Bruce and explain to him what's going on, that, she's not representing this person that was trying to, take you out a few years back. And Bruce was very chill.
Yeah, and Jennifer asks for his permission, but really she just rants on it all, doesn't let him speak, and then says, "Hey, you know what? I'm just going to take the case." And for some reason, remember that spaceship that they almost crashed into? Bruce is on that.
Yes, that was pretty strange. So
Secret Wars reference, maybe the Secret Invasion, because I know that's coming soon.
I don't know. I don't quite know, but it seems to me, okay, so if you saw the first episode, that was really what caused the car accident, right? So, Jen and Bruce, they were driving in Mexico.
Yeah, they're doing a road trip.
Jen was behind the wheel, and they were having a conversation. All of a sudden,
about eating Cheetos with chopsticks.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the spaceship just comes out of nowhere, and Jen loses control and just rolls over, and that's what how she got infected with the gamma radiation,
blood, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, is it that the ship was after Bruce in the first place? Is that why that ship was there? Because they're trying to get Bruce's attention? Who knows?
But you don't park in front of a ship.
Yeah,
park in front of a ship.
Yeah, well,
the ship doesn't park in front of you.
Absolutely, especially when you're driving, right? I mean, that will definitely cause an accident. So it was very strange to see Bruce on the same ship that was trying to run them down.
Yeah, although
in the first episode.
I have heard about World War Hulk though. I saw the comic storyline. In fact, I have it in my books.
Okay.
But it was something about like Hulk got banished or something, and then he went to live on Sakaar, had a family, and then he was on a ship, and the ship got blown up, and then the whole thing just went crazy from there. Stuff the Illuminati did it. It was just kind of crazy.
I think Alex is agreeing with you. He said, "I heard it's going to be a World War Hulk inspired movie, based on speculation." Wow, how about that? This is the first time I'm hearing about this. So, Alex, I haven't heard much, but the speculation I've heard from heavy spoilers from Screen Crush, is that it will lead to a World War Hulk-like storyline. I need to read the comic. Thanks for that, Alex. I mean, this is the first I'm hearing about this World War Hulk. I mean, I've heard of this type of Hulk, but I'm not quite sure what it is or what it's about. But I don't know. Maybe that's crazy, though. Yeah, is this the Red Hulk, the same as the Red Hulk, or is this a totally different Hulk?
It's our Hulk, but he got a sword and shield and stuff.
Okay, all right. Is he in another place in time, or is he of this Earth? Do you know?
I don't know, man. I didn't read the comics.
Okay, all right. Just asking. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So where are we now?
So we're almost at the end, and we're now at the end credit scene.
Yeah.
So we see footage of Abomination fighting Wong.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Which is footage taken directly from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is when Shang-Chi went in to do that pit fight for some reason.
Yeah, like a steel cage or something.
Yeah, and the beginning act was Abomination versus Wong. So when he kicks Wong's shield and it comes down, that was actually from Shang-Chi.
Very interesting. Okay.
So and the attention to detail on Marvel's part there is excellent.
Right. So it was the exact scene from the Shang-Chi movie that we saw again in the She-Hulk episode.
Yeah. So you know what else?
Yeah.
Seeing what Alex said in the comments, I read about that, like he fights the Illuminati and stuff, and this would be a great setup for our world's Illuminati. And again, if you've seen our theory video about why the Fantastic Four need to be in Wakanda forever, it's possible that Shuri might be Black Panther and be part of our world, or Earth 19999/616's world. So, like, Marvel's very contradictory with this because in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, they called it Earth 616, which is comic book world, and contradicts with their original statement calling Earth 199999.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So then we end up the episode, like you said, with Wong fighting Abomination, and it was a short episode, and that's it, right? Did we miss anything?
Oh, by the way, I think Korg is somewhere in that storyline with the Hulk. By the way,
Really?
and Meek.
Korg.
Yeah, and that.
From Thor.
Yes, and that Meek guy, the tiny one.
Interesting. All right.
The one that he stepped on in Ragnarok.
Yeah, right. He thought he
Destroyed his
him.
friend Perish.
Destroyed him, but he didn't. Yeah. Okay. Wow. How about that?
Korg is funny. He's like, I'm Korg. I'm made of rocks.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting.
And I don't like to fight because I'm very crumbly.
All right. Well, all right. So we're going to throw out a question to you. We want to know, what do you think will happen in future episodes of She-Hulk? All right. So just let me know in the comments section. But I did have another point I wanted to bring up. We didn't talk about Jennifer's family. We got to see.
She actually went to visit her family, and then they basically used her for housework. Like they had her carrying water bottles and moving TVs and stuff.
Right. Yeah. See, you're living in a world now where superheroes are a thing, So if your child comes into your house and says, "Well, hey, I'm a superhero," you're going to say, "Oh, whoa, what can you do?" "Oh, okay. Well, here, why don't you help me, fix this thing or put this big screen TV up, or get these
we
water
haven't had the
bottles."
comment from Alex about Daredevil.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about. We'll get to Daredevil, but so it's just funny that they, didn't really care that she was She-Hulk, but they just wanted to just use her strength and powers to help her to help them get things done around the house. So it's pretty funny.
Nice comment, by the way, Alex.
Yes.
And what I think is, Matt Murdock might actually be one of her clients that she represents, because Daredevil's kind of a vigilante. He's more of a dark Batman than he is a superhero. When you think of superhero, you think of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and you think of Captain America throwing his mighty shield or whatever.
So more than likely, if Jennifer is the one who's representing these superhumans, all right, so the attorney on the other side representing whoever, the other side is going to be represented by Matt Murdock, right? More than likely. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well,
or she might represent Matt Murdock himself.
Ooh, why would you think that?
Because he's a superhero.
Well, that's true, but he's also an attorney.
She'd probably have to interview him as Daredevil, because nobody wants to know. Nobody can know his secret identity.
I see your point. Okay, so we don't know if Jennifer knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil. She may not know that.
No, probably not.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I see what you're saying. So, okay.
I feel like they've met in the comics.
Oh, yeah. We'd have to go back and take a look.
But yeah, Daredevil's definitely on the anti-hero level.
Right. Okay. All right.
Low. He's kind of an evil guy.
Got it.
Not evil as in like, a bad guy, but he's kind of a dark. I don't know how to describe it, but he's more like a darker version of Venom, though. A really anti-hero, though.
You know who Daredevil reminds me more of?
Who?
I say
Batman?
No. Well, close. Moon Knight. No, I'm not.
Oh, you got him.
No, I'm not. I'm being serious. But but think about it. I mean, they're both vigilantes. Well, Matt Murdock is supposedly from New York City. I know this series is taking place in L.A., but
What?
The series is taking place in L.A.
What series?
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm saying that I believe Matt Murdock is from New York City, right? Mm-hmm. Like Moon Knight is from New York City.
Exactly.
So, no, it just seems to me
Which personalities from New York City? Which personalities from New York City? What
do you mean, which person? Matt Murdock?
No. I mean, like, which Moon Knight is it Jake Lockley or Steven?
Oh, Grant? No. Oh, I got you. No, they all live in New York. They're all in the comic books it's different than, I don't know, how did we get on this Moon Knight subject? It's my fault. No, in the comic books it's different than how it's being represented in the TV series, but it's just these three aliases that Mark Spector poses as when he's in New York City. So he made his money, so he's a millionaire. He's got a lot of money. He
Stephen
also
Grant.
right, Stephen Grant, right. He's Mark Spector, the mercenary. That's who he was originally. That's his given name. And Jake Lockley is just another character,
driver, yeah.
right? Is a cab driver that, just another character where he goes around, and that's how he hears about things that are going on in the city. So he's out there on the ground, and he's going into the restaurants or the diners, and he's talking to people and hearing stories about what's going on. So that's how he gets to know what's happening in the city.
Did you hear that the creators actually wanted to put Spider-Man in the She-Hulk series, but they can't because there's a whole rights issue with Sony and,
I'm not surprised.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
Like Sony's got an iron grip on Spider-Man.
Well, yes,
they
do.
won't let go.
Yes, they do. Well, and we know that they won't, because that is a very hot property for them. That makes Sony. Spider-Man makes Sony lots of money. Yeah. Melissa, hello,
Hi.
Melissa. Hi. I love that I can follow this conversation, not be super familiar with the series. You're fun to watch. Thank you so much. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Glad to see you tuning in.
Yeah. Yes, right.
You're watching this all the way in Australia.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm at a loss for words, but thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Yeah. So
I wish Sony would loosen their grip on the rights to Spider-Man. I want Marvel to have Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, right? All right. Let's see what we got. Keep coming with your questions and predictions. Well, we talked about the MCU characters that are coming. We talked about Daredevil. Do you think we're going to see any other characters other than Titania? We saw Abomination. Wong is coming, right? Yeah. Anybody else?
I think that's really all we're going to see.
And Bruce, obviously. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Right.
But I can't think of anybody else that will be in it.
Okay. All right. All right. So I think we wrapped up that episode, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if you have any questions or comments for us, anything related to Star Wars or Marvel, we can take those questions now. But yeah, so this is the format. This is what it's going to be. So, every Thursday, our plan is that after each episode drops that we're going to go ahead and do a live stream and review and just give those who are watching or listening the opportunity to ask us any questions related to the episode or anything related to Star Wars or Marvel, the future. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A Shang-Chi cameo in it.
All right. That's good.
And possibly even Jessica Jones. We don't know, but we don't. Now that Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all those are on Disney Plus in the TVMA section,
true, right.
I think it's kind of okay for them to be using these characters now.
It makes sense. You just made right, Jessica Jones. I remember reading this. All in the Game. I'm going to acknowledge your comment there. That's very important. But that reminded me, I did recall seeing the possibility of maybe Jessica Jones appearing.
And maybe Elektra.
Who knows?
What's her first name? I think her first name is actually Elektra.
I don't remember the first name of Elektra.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So is there a way to go back to All in the Games? All right. Sony is trying hard for the extra 99 million to get. Is that No Way Home above the 2 billion mark with the re-release? You know what? That's right. They are re-releasing. Did you know that they're re-releasing No Way Home?
Where? The theaters?
Yeah, I thought I saw an ad in the theaters that they're going to re-release it, but it's also on digital, isn't it? All right, we're not going to talk that much about No Way Home. This is a sore subject. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes a good point, though. But I'm wondering, All in the Game. At some point, Marvel's going to come back, and Sony and Marvel are going to do a deal to bring Peter Parker, Spider-Man back for another trilogy, right? Do you think that's a possibility? I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing another trilogy with Tom Holland.
You know what though? I feel like Sony and Marvel are kind of like divorced parents. They're just fighting over custody of the kid.
That's what it feels like.
They could just share the kid.
Yeah.
You could perfectly marry Sony and Marvel and get that perfect Spider-Man that we've been looking for.
Yeah. It's just, like you said, it's about rights, and people are very very particular about their IP, you know, because it's a valuable property, intellectual property. So
yeah.
Alex, excellent question. I'm not sure who else we'll see, but I do hope to see Jessica Jones, right? We just talked about that Kingpin.
Although we don't know about Kingpin, because
Mhm.
with the ending we saw in Hawkeye, I'm not entirely sure he's, you know, still an alive person.
Oh, he's coming back.
But
He's-
definitely, like
Yeah.
they can't get rid of Kingpin.
No,
They can't unalive Kingpin this early.
No, Kingpin, yeah, he'll return. We know the Echo series is coming, you know, so
Yeah,
there's a
next year.
connection there. There's a connection there with Echo. So yeah, we'll definitely see Kingpin back, right?
Yeah. You know what I realized though?
Mm-hmm.
Marvel is recycling dates. Think about this.
What do you mean?
The Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies, their first movies were 10 years apart, and their second movies were 10 years apart. Because the Tobey Maguire movie, 2002, Andrew Garfield, 2012. Tobey Maguire's second movie, 2004. Andrew Garfield's second movie, 2014. And then Tobey Maguire's third movie, Tom Holland's first movie. You see?
Yeah, so it's what, 2 years in between each movie, usually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, feel free to ask us any more questions that you have. Anything else regarding Star Wars and the MCU, just let us know. But once again, oh, yeah, I was talking about the format. So, yes, the plan is that we are going to, you know, do a live stream on Thursdays. That's the day that
7:30. Always.
Well, that's the plan, right? And that is the day that the She-Hulk episodes are dropping. There's 9 episodes, I believe, in total.
There's 9.
I think so. And that will just lead us up to Andor, and of course,
maybe
Andor.
even into Andor.
Well, yeah, maybe there might be some overlapping.
There probably will be, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was 6 episodes.
There may be some overlapping there, but yeah, but we'll also, you know, we'll be working on live streams for Andor as well. So, you know, can't wait for that. So,
yep.
Yeah. All right. So if there are any other comments or questions, we can start wrapping it up. If there's anything else. All right.
Yep. So we're on wherever you get your podcasts, like literally wherever. Google us.
Mm-hmm.
We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I know some of you are watching us on Facebook and Twitter. And those are all at Father Son Galaxy. Please donate. Please donate to our Patreon page, because with that money, it can help us grow our podcast even more and make even more awesome content. I'm saving up for Final Cut Pro now. And check out our speaker page as well, our website, FatherSonGalaxy.com.
Okay, I saw another comment. Yes, all in the game. Legally, there needs to be a solo Spidey movie released every 3 years, roughly. I read that as well.
There's just about that. Like,
yeah.
Except for with Tobey Maguire, because his movie ended in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the 2012 Andrew Garfield reboot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Andrew Garfield's movies were actually very good. I like him. He's a good Spider-Man.
Well, you never know.
They're all good Spider-Man.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Tom Holland's a cut above the rest, but that's kind of just because I grew up with him.
Fair enough. I can actually I can admit to that. I think he's done a very, very good job as Spider-Man, which is why there should be 3 more Spider-Man films coming. So
and they cast him at the age, because like everybody in the other movies just looked like they were in their 20s like characters. Although, you know, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire themselves were actually pretty convincing as like teenagers, but everybody else just looked like they were in their 20s and in a lunchroom with some blue trays. But you enjoyed the movies, right? I did. Yes. I like them. All right. We are big Spider-Man fans, right? So who knows? You know, they got to bring Tom Holland back. There's got to be more Spider-Man movies. So we'll see we'll see what happens. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us once again for our live stream, our second live stream. We are enjoying She-Hulk. They are short episodes, but they're actually very, very well done. And, you know, we're looking forward to next Thursday and see who appears and what happens next. But, until next time, everyone, thank you. I just want to make sure that I miss any other comments. But all right, well then, thank you so much for joining us. So take care, and we will see you again.